Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. R. Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, welcome, salutation, one and all. None and all at the moment. Oh well, never mind. Sammy's there. Hello. How you doing, you sexy beast? Yeah, perfect timing. About to go and leave for the dog park, I guess. Um, yeah, well, I do try and go live at the same time every week. It's kind of a routine. But yes, hope you're well. Hope everything's well in doggo walking, playing, and fussing land. Yeah, it's been a week. Um, yeah, kind of a bit of a weird one this week, but that's more to do with the days I was working than anything else. Especially after a week off, it felt a bit weird. But it always does. You have a week off, you go back to work, and everything just feels strange. The way of things. Anyway, oof. Although I have been up to a fair bit this week, so I do have a bit to talk about actually. For once, there's been stuffs going on. Um, as some will have seen and seen the garden update video. Yeah, there's been quite a bit going on out there. The holly tree's gone. The damp proof, or not damp proof, the weed proof membrane's down. A whole bunch of bark is down. Hence today's title. Gonna have to get another 3 sacks of bark, I think. Well, probably only need 2, but I'll get 3 just in case because it's not exactly expensive. And if I buy 3, it works out cheaper anyway. So get that sorted and that will be finished. And it's just chopping the dead wood out of the big shrub and weeding and watering and keeping on top of things and randomly counting bulbs that have come up. Yeah. Also been spending some time in the cave, as it were, as I call it, the cave, the modelling room, spare bedroom, man cave. And yeah, that's going well. Painting my gnome, some interesting colours, building a model aeroplane, looking into other kind of hobby buildy makey type stuff so I can do. When I put the car keys, I put them back exactly where you left them. Yeah. Cryptic answers. So yeah, there's a couple of things I've been looking into, like building wise. Paper models, which I've not done before, except for when I was a small kid, and it was the ones for like model trains. So I might get a couple of those. Start off with something simple. Don't do a typical Sharpie when it comes to building models of anything. Don't go, it's a model. How hard can it be? I can build pretty much any plastic model there is, or resin, and then find myself well over my depth going, oh, having spent quite a bit of money on one. Some of them can be quite expensive. And also bloody big as well. So I've got to find a good place to get those in the UK. I looked on Etsy and they're basically all digital downloads. So yeah, download it, print it out yourself. Amazon's got a few, but nothing that really jumps out at me like, ooh, I want that one. Most seem to be aimed at kids kind of stuff. Pardon me. So yeah, I'll find something. Probably something like a haunted house or yeah, the Amityville house or something like that would be good. Yeah. And also what they call book nooks, which is basically a model kit in the shape of a book, but instead of having a book inside it, it has like a scene, like a diorama. They look quite cool, so I ordered one of those, well, similar things, a pair of bookends, which is a steam train. So the front end's coming out of the books, the back end's going into the books. Yep, that's a little sparrow that's sitting on the guttering just outside. He's just shouting and making sure that no one comes anywhere near his nest. Just be glad it's not a seagull. Because if it was a seagull, I'd have the door shut because I ain't wanting one of them coming in. Those things are vicious. Yeah, definitely don't want seagulls anywhere near. Well, gulls, because they're not seagulls. We call them seagulls because historically they live near the sea because they nest on cliffs. But since we've basically messed things up by building artificial cliffs, i.e., buildings, and then leave lots of easy to find food for them laying around in towns, they've moved inland. So they're just gulls, not seagulls. And the ones around here have probably never seen the North Sea. Probably never been that far east or north. East is east closer or north from here? Probably east. Yeah. Yes, I know. Go east to go to the North Sea. That sounds a bit weird, but it's like Norfolk, the North folk. It's the furthest east you can get in England. Definitely not the furthest north. So, yeah, typical Englishness, really. Saying something's something and it isn't. Yes. So, yeah, painting the gnome, building the bolt and pull defiant, work, putting bark down in the garden, looking into the other kind of hobby buildy type things. Yeah, I've been fairly well occupied this week. Also, the trip out to get the new glasses as well. that's been fun. Getting used to varifocals when you've never had them before. Does that actually show up on screen when I do that my eyes get bigger and smaller? Because it goes in and out of focus really badly. Yeah, it's taken a... I've not had any real issues switching to varifocals. Well, yeah, there's no motion sickness or falling over or anything. It gets a bit tricky coming down the aircraft steps at work if I try and do it forwards, because then I have to really tilt my head right down so it's actually in focus, and then it's magnified so things look closer than they are. Yeah, and going up and down the aisles, because the distance things are at is constantly changing as you walk down the aisle, so things are coming in and out of focus all the time. But I'll get used to it. The rest of it is fine. No major headaches, no motion sickness. A little bit of eye strain, but that's to be expected anytime you get new glasses. Yeah, the fact that I can actually do modelling now comfortably. I mean, still, if I'm doing something really close, I do look under the glasses because just a habit, I think, at this point. Yeah, let's say it's been a good week, an interesting week. And yeah, once my eyes get focused in on something, if I start looking away at other things, then I have to sort of stop and refocus my eyes for a moment. But I'll get used to it. It'll be long term. So for the long term, it's better. Short term pain for long term gain. I think that's a saying, isn't it? So yeah, looks like a blooming hooker den in here with the amount of smoke coming off my pipe. Backie's got a bit dry. So what else to do? Oh yeah, sorted out new broadband and phone contract. So I might have slightly faster internet, which should mean therefore slightly better picture quality. Probably won't, but there we go. It was at the... I was paying for the top speeds anyway, but new contract, so I usually turn it up a bit, I think, just to make it feel like you're getting more. That the garden waste bin repaid for another year. That's definitely earned its money. I've definitely had my £62 worth out of that this year. Howdy, Jeff. How's it going? Yeah, so this week when they come and empty it, I will be able to put the stuff I've already got back in it. And then I shouldn't be completely filling it every 2 weeks. Forever behind. Well, there's always stuff we want to be doing, but I think I'm actually kind of up to date at the moment. I sort of had one of those weeks where I've got all the little annoying jobs done and out of the way. Well, that was mostly Friday, to be honest. Friday morning while I was waiting for the bark to turn up for the garden. and putting that down. It's nice when they put the weight on the packaging and it's completely wrong. Said on the packet, 25 kilo, which is about 52 pounds, dry weight. Yeah, it weren't dry. It was absolutely sopping wet. And I know what I can lift because I lift it at work and it has the weights on it. And they weren't exactly awkward sizes or shapes to lift. And I was struggling. So I would guess they were probably well over 50 kilo. You know, over £100 in weight. Yes, I know for people who do gym and workouts, that's not a lot. I don't do gym and workouts. And my back is still feeling it from Friday. Which is why I said to Mary, no, we're not going down to the garden centre or the Home Depot place, the UK version of. No, we're not going to go down there and get them ourselves. I'm going to get more delivered because I am not carrying 3 of them to the car and from the car. Hell no. I'd rather pay the £6 and have someone else do it. Yeah. So instead we went to a different garden centre today and I've got a new plant that nobody's probably interested in. It's a creeping thyme, or a thyme if you don't speak English. Thymus if you must speak Latin. Yeah, it's just a thyme that spreads rather than clumps. Spreads out rather than makes a little dome, which means it'll be good down by the side of the pond. And then hopefully it'll like spread and cascade over the edge of the pond and look pretty. Yeah, that's the idea anyway. Worst comes to worst, it's thyme, so Latte Bunny can eat it. And she won't say no to herbs. She's just pre-marinating herself, really ready. Yeah, there's that. Been water in the garden. Joy. We're up to, I think it's 180 bulbs have come up now out of the 400 I planted, so we're getting there. It's a decent amount to have come up, but there's more are coming up every day. And it will be, as it's water changes tomorrow, because I'm off work, so I'll do all the water changes. It'll be water garden, fill up the rack or the ranks of empty Coke bottles that I have, so that I can use the rest of the water later in the week. Because what better to put on your plants than water that's got breaking down fish waste and nitrates in it? And it's basically just liquid fertilizer at that point. And everything seems to be quite happy with it. Oh, change the angle I'm looking. Yeah, all growing well. There are a couple of other little bits I want to get done out the back, but they can wait, especially during summer. Yeah, as I say, if you've not seen the video, it's starting to look like a garden. The fish are fat, happy and sassy and breeding in the pond. That's the bristlenose wrigglers in there that were bred live last week on the live stream. Yes, there was bristlenose well, adult entertainment going on behind me as I was streaming. And then this, actually on Friday, Fred and Rose, they went into their cave, so we got super red eggs as well, which is always a bonus. Yeah, so all's going well. Nothing really to grumble about. Not had any issues at work. That's probably because the people I tend to have issue with, I haven't shared shifts with this week. Always good when that happens. People you don't necessarily get on with too well, and you don't have to work with them. One of them's leaving, which is even better. Well, I know I say that. I get on with her okay. And yeah, you never know. Grass is always greener, isn't it? So could be some absolute arse that replaces them. Could be some hot, fun 30-something woman. It could be some early 20s gym bro alpha kind of person I'm just going to have to beat into submission. No, don't care. Yeah, mate. Oh, other one is my bits from Temu, whatever. Most of their adverts, they call it Temu, but everyone else I know calls it Temu. Yeah. But yeah, turned up and I'm happy with the quality. Obviously, the cheap watches are cheap. They look okay from a distance, but close up they don't look too great. But they tell the time, and that's all really a watch needs to do. And I've got the Nightwish trucker cap. I've got box filter, sponge filter, USB rechargeable air pump, just because sometimes it's a useful thing to have. I will do a video going through those at some point, maybe tomorrow. We shall see. Quality wise, looks to be exactly the same quality as you'd get from the brand name ones, because it's probably exactly the same thing out of exactly the same warehouse or exactly the same factory, just with a different sticker on the packaging. Actually, the sponge filter's got biomedia in the bottom of it, so we might have to remove that. Just replace it with some floss or something. Put something actually useful in the filter. Just so I can continue saying, yes, none of my tanks, none of my filters have biomedia in them. Else there's a little socket set. Not the greatest, but yeah, it'll do for what I use the socket set for. I already had one anyway. It was came up on the list of free gifts. I think it was about 4 or 5 things I actually ordered and paid for, and then there's all the free gifts that were worth way more. Well, when I say worth more, the price on the website was more than what I paid for everything I paid for. Got one of the tin plates, also a Nightwish one that's going to go up on the wall in the cave. A Floor Jansen cotton poster, I guess you'd say. It's already up on the wall in the man cave because You know, sitting there doing some modelling, turns to the right, and oh, beautiful Dutch lady wearing a corset. Nothing to complain about there, I see. Um, what else do I get? Which is a pair of trainers or sneakers. Again, cheap, but they do exactly what I want them to. They're light. The air blows straight through them, so they'll keep my feet nice and cool when I'm on the bike, and they're relatively comfortable as well. Um, and they don't look too ugly. Yes, they're probably going to fall apart in 6 months, but they were free. So it's one of those things with those websites. They're good for what you might want. Yeah, you have to pick and choose what you buy from them. I wouldn't buy anything that plugs into mains electricity from Temu. No. Quirky! John, Jimmy, John, James, John, Jingle Sharpe the third. How you doing? Good to see you. Been a while. Yeah, if it's stuff that you want to get that you know is just manufactured in a Chinese factory, and you know, let's be honest, we all know that most of the, especially aquarium stuff like sponge filters and silicone and box filters and all that stuff, it all comes from the same place. So why not save yourself some money? Cut out the middleman. I'm pretty sure most of the stock is the same things as you'd find on Amazon. But then you're also paying Amazon because they probably buy it direct off Temu. It wouldn't surprise me if there were stores, businesses that just bought all their stock from direct from Far East from somewhere like Temu, and it just up the price by 50% or 100% or whatever, depending on whether you got tariffs or not. Good for what it's good for. Although I did see a review of some of the sort of let's say model kits. Um, let's say knockoff model kits, and yeah, you can tell they're not the right thing because you know they're a knockoff. What do you expect when they're a tenth of the price? If you ever run an eBay shop, you'll discover real quick there are people making a profit drop shipping through Amazon, and you're shipping to their customers. Amazon still profits in that. Yeah, exactly. Um, and I get why some people don't like Amazon and don't want to shop with Amazon because not exactly got the best track record for how they treat their staff. Certainly not US side anyway. UK obviously they have to go by our employment laws and wages and holiday. um, and yes, Jeff Bezos is a slimy billionaire, but you have to do what you have to do. Mandy, my darling, how the devil are you? Always good to see you, my dear. Always good to have you come in and say hi. How you doing? Notice I got the new glasses. I can see now. Well, I could see distance okay. Now I can see close up. It's kind of helpful when you look at like fish and model kits. Mandy, Mandy, Mandy. I just got to remember 3 whole years, Mandy. Wow. Thank you very much. 3 whole years of really seriously. Have I had memberships going for 3 years? Damn. Don't feel that long. Oh, it's because I made 3 years. 3 years and I haven't been demonetized. Yeah, given the way some people talk about demonetization or demonization and things they say, oh no, you can't say that, you can't say this, you can't do that, you can't do. And the amount of stuff I do and say, and I don't have issues with it. Why? The only time I did have an issue was when I made a joke about COVID, and I think YouTube was just being very, just in case someone gave out bad advice and then they got sued. Yeah, that got reinstated because they figured I was being joking, pretty obviously joking, because I actually said joke afterwards. Yeah, I've been on YouTube a lot longer than 3 years. Oh, God, I don't want to know how long it is. 8, maybe 9 years now. It's kind of scary, isn't it? (2013). Well, I mean, that would have been when I set things up, but obviously didn't start streaming then, or didn't start uploading then. Yeah. Yeah, 12 years. Joy. Yeah. So that would have probably been when I started watching videos on YouTube. Back when my channel name was my name, because it didn't occur to me that you might want something different. Trying to get motivated to go dig a hole for a tree. There is a song you can listen to help with that. I believe it is called Diggy Diggy Hole. Long time view for transplant. Mother-in-law wants it done. So, April 19th, 2016. That was my first video. So it's 9 years. And that was the... Hi. I noticed I've got some subscribers, so I thought I'd better say hello and make a little video to see. Yeah. I mean, things haven't got much better over the years. I'm not using a potato to film it anymore. I've got a bit more confident in front of and behind a camera. And I'm a bit less worried about letting me come through. Yeah, you got to keep the future mother-in-law happy, otherwise become a future monster-in-law. As long as you've told her it's the wrong time of year to be transplanting a tree, it might not like it very much. So just to warn her, just in case the tree does die. Yes, I know it's best to do it when they're dormant in the winter, when the ground's nice and wet and easier to dig as well. which is why I wanted to get my garden all dug over before it got hot and dry. Probably be worse keeping too small of a pot for the growing season. Yeah, there is that. They do get root bound. You could always bonsai it. It can't damage your. Well, if it's in a pot, I mean, it's not like you're digging it out of the ground and you are going to chop through half the roots trying to get it out. So it should be okay. I mean, as long as you can pull it out of the pot pretty much in one and put it in the ground with the compost or soil or whatever in the pot, then it would just spread out from there. I suppose similar theory to when you buy a plant and it's in a pot and it's a bit pot bound and you pull it out. I say we've all done it. You buy a plant from the garden centre or wherever, and you get home and you look on it, you look underneath, and there's all the roots coming out the bottom of the pot. You're like, that's going to be fun. Original name on YouTube was Sister Fister. Glad I changed it. Yeah, probably. It does sound a bit Alabaman. Sweet home Alabama. Where your sister is your wife's uncle's brother. Or Norfolk, to be honest. I mean, if Norfolk was hotter and sweatier, it would pretty much be Alabama. Bonsai it, like I say, leaving it with circle roots might stunt its growth long term. Already topped it pruning. It's going to, yeah. So she chopped the growing section out of it. Nice. It might do the whole forky thing though, and end up looking quite cool. That's the problem I've got out the front is most of my lavenders are that, how do I put it, that well established. Look, it's an Acer. Yeah, Acers aren't normally too bad though. It's not like it's something like an oak. But yeah, if you chop the top out of an Ace, yeah, that's going to grow weird. Probably end up just looking like, they do it with willows, don't they? And they just end up looking like Cousin It from the Addams Family. They just grow out the top and go down. Yeah, it's going to look weird. But yeah, so the lavender has been there that long and is that well established that when I pruned it back this year to get it to where it wasn't overgrowing the path, I may have pruned it back a bit too far and gone back to the old wood where it's not regrowing from. This is like it's regrowing from the top, bottom one patch where it's not. But there's nothing at the side, so it's just wood and then green on the top. Well, silvery, grey green. But the two box plants are dead, so yes, box moth has hit. So they're going to have to come out. So I'll see how I feel later in the year, but I might just redo the front garden as well. At least that's a lot smaller than the back garden. Yeah, just pull out the box and the lavenders. Probably just replant more lavenders around the edge. There's the cats like to use them. It's basically a little square bit, and I've got box and lavender around two sides, the wall of the house one side, and the neighbours have got a conifer the other side. So it's like a little sheltered nook. So the cats do like to sleep in there because it's out of the wind. They can get in the sun or they can get in the shade. It's got a load of Crocosmia Lucifer in the middle, which is doing really well. So I want to leave that. So yeah, I'll probably just pull out the box and the lavender and then replant it just with lavenders around the edge. Put a new bit of edging in and then see what I'm going to do out the front lawn, because I want to get rid of grass. I've had enough of cutting grass, getting sprayed with cat egg when you accidentally hit one with the strimmer. So I might just do basically what I've done out the back. Get rid of all the grass, dig it out a little bit deeper, put some bark in, and put a little bed in the middle. Just call it job done. That should do the trick then. Now, not out the front. I've got the pond in the back garden. That's plenty enough. Let's just say I've got the frogs are breeding in there. The comets are breeding in there. I mean, some of those comets are getting bloody big now. Saw all of Watson this week, the oldest of the comets, and he's like good 9, maybe 10 inches long, and he's thick. Trying to convince mother-in-law to let me build a moat and have a drawbridge. I suppose that's ultimate prepper. Yeah, the thing with the front is the neighbour's parking space is literally right next to my front lawn. Now, my current neighbour, Lisa's really good. She doesn't drive across my garden. Little screen installed with a vertical gate. Yeah, sounds cool. But the guy who lived there previous wasn't the best of drivers, and obviously didn't care either, because every time he pulled out, he basically went across my grass. So if I go putting anything delicate, shall we say, yeah, I could do that. I could just plant something, either a boulder or plant something big and nasty in the front right-hand corner. So if you do try and cut it, but then I also need to get through to get to the side entrance and the shed to park my bicycle. So yeah, it's got to work for me, and I don't want to have to walk all the way around. I know it's not far. Or a big pond, so they drive into it. They drive all the way in. Yeah, I do have to be a little bit careful with what I dig out there, because that's where my water lines come in, my electric, my broadband foam fibre lines. So yeah, I'd rather not cut through those and have a big bill getting those reconnected. Fish love to swim around the conduit. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I don't have a water leak. No, my pond is spring fed. Yeah. There seems to be quite a high pressure spring. Yeah, I think you'll find it's about mains pressure. Yeah, so I've got to be a bit careful what I do out the front. Yeah, I'm thinking probably just basically repeat what I've done out the back. I say bark around the edges and then a bed in the middle. So municipality. You mean the local council? Just drain the pond when they need maintenance. Yeah, there is that. And coffee has been acquired. We are safe now. Amanda Panda has caffeine. I have wind. That's because I had egg mayonnaise this morning and yesterday and the day before. I bought myself a Tiger Bloomer loaf of bread. So I've been working through that, and I bought myself a tub of egg mayo as well. So I've been working through those. So I'm going to have wind. But yes, yes. But I'd say the front garden is something I can figure out, and it's small and it's divided. So yeah, there's a concrete path running down the middle, so I can just do one side at a time. That's not going to kill me. But then the problem is I don't want to be pulling up the lavender or chopping the lavender until it's finished flowering, because the bees love it. It gets absolutely covered in bees. Although the French lavender under the front window is still there, so there'll be that. But yeah. And then it's just a case of keeping on top of it again, not letting it get so out of hand that when you chop it back so hard that. I wonder if the honey they make tastes. It would taste a little bit lavendery, I would guess, but I wouldn't equate lavender with soap. But that's just me being male, and I try not to eat soap, but we all know what soap tastes like. Yeah. Soap, when you go, especially as an uncouth male, when I have to go and buy soap, I go, right, what's the cheapest one and the most basic one they've got? You're not feeling when you go to Harbour Freight to buy a sawhorse, but not for the reason it's meant for, no one knows. Can you grow creeping thyme over there? You can walk on it, it doesn't need mowing, has flowers for bees, and it smells good. Funny you should say that, Quirky, because what I bought today is creeping thyme. Yeah, $3.99 for a little pot. But yeah, that's going to go by the edge of the pond, so it'll sort of spread out and go over the edge and look all pretty. And oh, it has actually got a couple of little flowers on it as well. Plus bunny snacks as well, so Latte Bunny can have some more time. I don't know if you've seen the videos of the garden, but yeah. Yeah, so I've got 4 pots or containers, which I'm just growing herbs in. Because herbs are nice and relatively easy, and they do well in containers. Especially mint. You do not put mint in the ground because it goes nuts and spreads everywhere. It may as well be bamboo. But yeah, so I grow those. They look nice. Blah blah blah, and yeah, awesome rabbit snacks. Yeah, mint is hella invasive. Well, yeah, I was going around pulling out some weeds earlier this week. Would have been Wednesday, I think, and so there's a lot of little nettles around here. No, but the leaves look darker. Now, young nettles have got relatively light green leaves, and these are kind of dark. And then it dawned on me, they're not stinging nettles because I wasn't getting stung. overall baby mint plants from where the mint set seed, or flowered and set seed last year. So this year I'm going to have to remember to chop the flowers off before they set seed. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with thousands of mint plants everywhere. I did that with parsley once. Hello, Donna, lurking as travelling back from Chester. And hi, Andrew. Watch where you're going. Hopefully you've been up to something fun in Chester. The Latin for fort. Any UK place name that has Cester or Chester at the end of it is because in ancient Roman times, like 2,000 years ago, there was a Roman fort there. That's why it's called Cester or Chester. So yeah, highly imaginative name. Where are you going today? I'm going to Fort. Manfort. That sounds wrong though, doesn't it? Manchester, Manfort, literally is what it means. Does that mean Cirencester means Siren Fort? Is that where they kept all the pretty ladies who like to sing? Is that where they kept the soprano ladies? I was going to say the Sopranos, but then it got very Italian mafia-y. And yeah. Random factoid of the day. Cester or Chester means fort. But because here in the UK we've had so many different peoples invade over the millennia, our place names are a complete mix of ye olde English, Viking, German, French, Dutch, Roman. Yeah. And anywhere that's borough, or it's always pronounced borough, however it's spelled, whereas Borough, Burgh is borough. It's not burg or burrow. Burrow is what animals do in the ground. Andrew is designated driver. Does that mean you're tipsy? That's usually what designated driver means. So I'll drive so you can get drunk. Yeah, that's a good thing about not being able to drive. I was always the one that was allowed to get drunk or wasted. Yeah, so and anything that ends in borough, borough just means settlement. So my town, Attleborough, or Attleborough, or whatever I've heard it pronounced various ways, just means the settlement of Eitlinger, which is where it comes from. It's actually Scandinavian, the Vikings. I mean, Donna should be on a live stream. Is that what it means in fish farm terms? Is it not the designated driver means you're the one that gets to choose the live stream or the radio station? Because we all know Andrew would rather be listening to ABBA or the Carpenters. Oh dear, I don't know what I'd listen to if I was driving. It would be metal. Sure. Being drunk means you should be a guest. If I could figure it out, sorry, no, if I could be hassled and put 5 minutes into figuring it out. Should we really be discussing the bastardization of the English language, or have we clearly just winged it? Well, I mean, it is. I think the old joke is English is three languages masquerading as one in a trench coat. Like like the old joke about the you know two two little kids that want to get into the strip club, so one sits on the other's shoulders and they put a trench coat on. Borough. And yeah, it's not rough, it's rough. Yeah. It's like Polish and Polish and Reading and Reading. I mean, yeah, some of the weirder ones we just accept that nobody is going to get right. I mean, even English people don't get Harlem right. They'll get it close. They'll be Hargam. But yeah, but it's Norfolk's just Harlem. But yeah, when it's something obvious, tear and tear, wound and wound, yeah, AI gets really confused by that. You wound me. No, wound, you stupid AI. There's, words like that are a good way if you're listening to a video or watching a video on YouTube and you hear things mispronounced like that. That's when you know it's an AI. There are other obvious signs, like when it says the page number. Or the XIV Legion, no, 14th Legion. It's so the where it really does grind our goats is Shire. How do you get Shire wrong? I mean, you have a Shire, the Shire, whatever, that's a word. But when it's a place, it's sh. And you can't say it's because, well, we don't have it in America because you've got New Hampshire and you pronounce it New Hampshire. You don't pronounce it New Hampshire. I have literally heard an American in a video talking about Hampshire who was from New Hampshire. It's because it's close. Some of the places are. Hampshire's not. That's fairly upmarket. Um, Yorkshire's a whole. And cue everyone from Yorkshire hating me. It's a very pretty place. Don't get me wrong, Yorkshire Dales and the moors and everything, it's all very pretty and all very lovely. And most of the people are lovely. Worcestershire. Yeah. Yeah, massive gussets, as I call it. Yeah, we're going back to Massachusetts. Not tonight. It's been a good day, a few drinks and shopping. Also, drinks and shopping, so Andrew's in a real grump. He's gonna get home and need the drinks. He's gonna be on Henry VIII tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Massachusetts. Most famous for having a battleship named after it. And pretty much being home to a lot of the ghost stories and horror stories. Yeah, it means either Andrew's done something wrong or is going to do something wrong. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys and gals. We know this, and I bet he's sitting there in the driver's seat swearing at me right now, if he can hear. I know what it is. He's ordered some more goldfish and doesn't want to say anything. So it's like, well, if I butter Donna up and treat her to a nice day out, maybe she won't rip my bits off when the fish arrive. Something like that. Just fess up. Just own up, dude. We know what women are like. They'll find out eventually, whatever it is we've done. You can't even sweep things under the carpet because they'll notice, literally. My foster mum literally used to lift the carpets up and clean underneath the carpets. They get dirty. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. Well, nobody's going to bloody know. And plus, it means you've then got to put the freaking carpet back down again. And don't get me started on hardwood floors. Urgh. Just have carpets. It's warmer on your feet, makes less noise. And it's a lot easier to replace when it does need it. Also, less prone to damage as well. Oh, pardon me. Bent over and I parked. So, as we got a few people here now, is there anyone in the chat who has any knowledge of paper models? Is it something I'm looking at trying a couple, see how I get on? And the videos I have seen on YouTube aren't exactly the most helpful, shall we say. An origami crane, still paper craft, but I'm thinking more the cut it out and stick it together kind of thing, but a little more complex than the old sort of the old ones that you used to get for the Hornby railways. Yeah, yeah. I think the reason Donna's gone quiet is she is asking Andrew what he's done right now, or busy giving him a good beating at the side of the road. If next time you see him, he's got two black eyes and a broken nose, you know what happened. Giving him a good beating. I mean, I'm not saying I'm for spousal abuse, but sometimes it's funny. The dollhouse is made of. Yeah, I'll say that's also another thing I've been looking at. Not dolls' houses, but they do the. I think they call them book nooks. If you're familiar with those, I did order are kind of a pair of bookends. It's a kit that you put together, front and back end of a steam train. Um, yeah, so they look fun and they look interesting. And so the paper models, yeah, they should at least be cheaper than plastic models and nice and quiet to do as well, so I can do them at any time of day or night. That's what it was. A little house with library and garden with bookshelves. Yeah, yeah. So the ones I've seen are, it looks like a book, but if you, it's got like a little diorama inside it of like a little shop or library or something like that. I was kind of hoping there'd be one of like a gothic haunted church or, yeah, something me, should we put it? Yeah. So I'll get the one I've ordered should be here tomorrow. So I'll give that a go, and then while I'm at it, I'll still look and see if I can find decent places in the UK to order paper models from. As I was saying earlier, Etsy, they're all basically digital downloads, and I don't want to be faffing about with cardstock and a printer. That seems too much like hard work. Plus the cost of printer cartridges these days, it'll probably be cheaper to, just get a plastic one. um, yeah, I'm want to look into, because I do love the building and putting things together and making something. But I just want to broaden my horizons a bit. Kinko's FedEx type. Uh, Probably take it to the library, but again, I wouldn't necessarily want to trust the library's printer. Um, but yeah, I'd rather just download the whole, or download, buy the kit, which with everything pre-printed. So I just got to cut it out and stick it together, or cut it out, fold it, roll it, shape it, whatever you got to do. He's not in trouble. I did offer to drive when we had lunch. So no, he would drive. Very rarely is he in trouble. Well, he's a good boy, isn't he? Really, he knows which side his bread buttered on. Yeah, kits are better. It's just easier. I want something enjoyable, and if I don't have to faff about with technology, that's better. So it's one of them things where I know where to get the plastic kits from. I know where to get resin kits from because I've bought many of them in the past. I just have no idea what's good places to get paper models from. It might have to be Temu. Oh, I'm gonna. I'll leave it at that. I'll be back in a minute. Got a call to answer in the little boy's room. That's better. There we go. That's a load off. What was it? Oh yes, paper models. And plus, as I say, I've seen some videos. I've done a bit of research into these things, and again, the paper modeling channels that I've found pretty much all seem to be no speech, just music and sort of heavily edited and sped up, watching it being built. Doesn't really show anything. A place called Paper World Crafts and Paper Landmarks. I've not looked at those yet, but I shall have a look-see. Yeah, I've seen several like ship and plane and a few tank models and various things like that, and rockets and yeah, a paper landmark, Notre Dame or something like that, Gothic cathedral, that kind of thing. That's more me than a FedEx airliner. And also looking at the scales on some of the kits as well. Yeah. It's, again, from building plastic models, I know what size certain things are going to be in certain scales. And when it's something like a B17 and it's in 1/33rd scale, I'm like, that's going to be huge. Or something like, what was the other one I saw? Was IJN Yamato, which is the biggest battleship ever made. And there's a paper model of one in 1/250th scale that's going to be probably about 4 foot long. We've got all kind of random stuff for adults and humans. Sort through a lot of random dinosaurs and Eiffel Towers. I'll have a look see. The shop we got in the UK is Hobbycraft, and they do a whole lot of paper crafting stuff. But unless you want, like, how to put it, they're probably not meant just for kids, but they do look very kiddified to me. Sort of lions and owls and things like that. Or I've seen like humans, as if adults weren't humans. Yeah, we're not. I think once we hit reality, somewhere between 18 and 23, we stop becoming human. Clearly still need coffee. Well, yeah, but that's not a coffee related issue. I think I'd refer to that as a Freudian truth. I'll find something. I mean, I've seen a couple where it's like books with them in. I think I'll do a Game of Thrones one and a Harry Potter one. I don't want a Harry Potter. And Game of Thrones would be kind of cool, but it's kind of been and gone. A bit late. Probably why they're cheap. Yeah. I'm pretty much, something like a haunted house is either wooden or paper or mix. One that looks like I visualize a haunted house. Nothing cutesy or fun. It's a really gloomy, scary looking house or building, church, whatever it is. I mean, a paper Cthulhu would be quite fun. But again, things like that, people tend to make them look cuter and cuddlier than they are in my mind's eye. So I've got a couple of cat scratches across my finger where Ginge thought I was playing and I wasn't. And so it had to be told off. No. The thing is, if I put a finger up like that saying no, Ginge then thinks I'm playing and he can go for my finger, which is what he did. Um, cat scratch fever, yes. Oh, God, who was that? Oh, oh, God, no. That was that weird survivalist dude, wasn't it? Ted Nugent. Was it Ted Nugent did cat scratch fever? Yeah, it was. It was the. Yeah, I get that mixed up with Stray Cat Strut, which is by the Stray Cats. It's a much better song. Um, yeah. See, my mind will remember things, but then it will put two things together that don't fit, and no, that's not right. But yeah, so paper models, book nooks. So I have named my garden gnome now. So once he's painted and out in the garden, or painted and painted and out in the garden, he'll be in a video. But I was kind of toying with a few names, and then one's just like, no, it's got to be. So my cubist gnome will be called Gaylord. Yes, I know it's a first name that gets used in America still. But it's basically an insult we used to shout at each other at middle school and primary school. Yeah, Gaylord Fokker. No, he's just Gaylord. He doesn't need a surname. And the fact that I've painted him, his clothes are candy colours, so he's got a candy yellow hat, candy green coat, and candy blue trousers with brown boots and a grey. I'm going to put sparkles in his grey beard as well. Think I've got some pearlescent paint, and yeah, yes, yes, I know, I've got the movie reference. I have nipples, Greg. Could you milk me? Lines you never thought you'd hear De Niro say. I mean, to me, De Niro is the deer hunter, that kind of character, not comedy actor. I mean, he's bloody good in Meet the Fockers and whichever other ones there were. There were a few of them, weren't there? But yeah, the fact that that's the one that you remember more these days more than you looking at me. Are you looking at me? Yeah. And all the stuff that Ted Danson's done in his life. and you still remember him from Cheers. Same with Woody Harrelson. Or Danny DeVito in Taxi. Yeah, you know that Three Men and a Baby. Yeah, I saw that many moons ago, but it was one of those I was made to sit and watch it. Because this is a good film. One of those ones where you go, yes, it may well have been a good film, but I didn't enjoy it. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do do dee do do. It's literally all I remember from Three Men and a Baby. That and named after Sam Malone from Cheers. Well, there you go. As long as you weren't. No, we're not going to go with that one. I was named after pretty much every other male member of my family, which made like Christmas and weddings or any time that the whole family got together made it really awkward. Because there were 6 Johns and a Juan. And most of my family couldn't pronounce Juan, so they called him John. Well, it is the Spanish for John, let's be honest. But yeah, you got 6 or 7 people with the same name. It gets real confusing real fast. That's too many to go with junior and senior, and people start getting called by their middle names, which you never get called by, so you don't respond. And if someone shouts Gareth at me, I'm not going to pay any attention. Not unless, bless her soul, she's not with us anymore. My godmother, she would always call me John Gareth, but she was Welsh, and that's why I got the Gareth. John Gareth. It sounds okay in a Welsh accent. In an English accent, it just sounds like an accountant. And a low-level accountant at that. That feeling when you bought a sawhorse from Harbour Freight, it's sitting in your car, and you secretly can't wait to go home and use it for not its intended purpose. I know the feeling of when you buy something you can't wait to get it home, and I know the feeling of using something for other than its intended purpose. I don't want to know what you're going to use a sawhorse for that isn't the intended purpose, because my brain is going to perverse places. Yeah, best I don't ask questions. It's either something you're going to be doing pull-ups underneath or doing something on top of. And as long as you're not squatting onto it to strengthen certain areas, you'll probably be okay. Unless you're actually using it to saw horses up. Yeah, part of your new dungeon, is it? Oh, perhaps. There is that, but this is Sam, so I'm looking forward to his next video of how to set up a sex dungeon on a budget. Or it's just a torture room for his victims. basically tie their feet to their thighs so their knees are bent, and then sit them on the sawhorse, one leg either side, and just tie them in place and leave them there. I think I've seen that done. I think that is an old medieval torture, actually, to just leave someone like that for days. Because it cuts off the blood flow to several important areas, and then they tend to go rather gangrenous and fall off. So, yeah, not going to be pleasant. Even worse if you plant some bamboo underneath it. But also, given the quality of the sawhorses that I've seen for sale in the UK lately, and the weight limits on them, I wouldn't necessarily want to be using a fish tank on. I mean, there's some plastic ones we sell that are rated for a maximum of 50 kilos or 102 pound. So I'm glad I lost weight. Oh dear, self-flagellation. What is it? Extreme pillow humping. That's grim. That yeah, sorry, that was too far. Probably find it on OnlyFans though. I still haven't even looked at OnlyFans, so I have no idea what it's like. I just know from the pictures that I see on Reddit and some of the videos I've seen on YouTube. Here's this video of whatever. Subscribe to my OnlyFans to get the unedited version. See you later, Sam. Enjoy your sawhorses. Ah, that's it. He's going to be doing the Jean-Claude Van Damme splits across the sawhorses. That's it. And he's going to stick a bucket underneath. Oh, oh God. And the thing is, you just know there are people that would pay to watch that. Love you too, Sammy boy. Yeah. It's got dark, didn't it? Went from book nooks and paper models to extreme BDSM very quickly. But hey, that's how my mind works. And I just have to give people a look now at work because they've got to know how my mind works. And they'll say something that I've taken completely the wrong way or could take completely the wrong way. I just give them the look and then they go bright red. It's just like, oh my God, I didn't mean it like that. Extreme is a matter of opinion. Yeah. Just remember the safe word. That's all I ask. That and consent. Consent and safe words, two very important things. You just don't make the safe word no or stop. The other thing I was thinking was maybe putting some kind of poster or something up there above the tank. What of? It's the kind of things that I might like to put up, I probably wouldn't be able to get away with showing on YouTube. And again, it's got to fit with my style and tastes. So, any ideas, let me know. And I'm also toying with the idea of putting some kind of something black down the back of the tank just so it pops a bit more. I've got a fair bit of the weed-proof membrane left, so I might try some of that. Just like gaffer tape it to the rim of the gaffer tape it to the edge of the lid, and it looks fine as it is. No, thank you, but yeah, I think just. I mean, I know I normally have the picture of Zach up there as well, but I just having ideas. That's all. And I just noticed that all the cabling for the lights that are underneath there has fallen off now. Not that they've been plugged in for donkey's years. Actually, I might try that. See if I can find the plug and see if they actually still work. Be down here somewhere. That looks like the lead. Are they actually plugged in? No, they're not. And no, there's not a spare plug. However, how long is the lead? That's the question. Is it how long it is? Or how badly wrapped up and tangled up it is in everything else. Do I have an I have an extension lead down there, don't I? Which I can use because this tank isn't plugged in at the moment. Oh, is the extension lead still plugged in? Yes. Right. Do they still work? Well, they flashed. Have they just gone bang? That is the question. On. Does that actually show up? Yeah, a little bit. They should change colours. Not that it will really make any difference to how things look. So yeah, that's another job. Sort them cables out then. Oh, red. That's not good. It might just confuse the fish though. Mind you, the tank lights are brighter, way brighter than those LEDs are, so we should be safe. Something I can maybe leave there for the future. There we go. What do you reckon? Does that do anything, or does it just look? Obviously, I will hide the cables up and re-stick them, but look at that side. Yeah, I literally do just have two little patches there that haven't gone grey yet. Maybe they're the bits I should grow out. There we go. Something I can keep in mind maybe for live streams, leave it turned off or unplugged the rest of the time. Adds a little bit of extra interest to the background, I suppose. But yeah, I'm thinking a black background on that tank and then something on the wall above it, just to fill in the gap, and not a mirror, because then all you'd see is the back of my head and the mess the kitchen's in. Or I'd have to close the kitchen door and then you just see the back of my head and a door in the mirror, which really wouldn't work. I'll find something. Yeah, that don't look too bad to me anyway. I mean, like, the blue's really bright. The sort of turquoise, the green, the white doesn't really, and the yellow, and the red just, and the purple. Yeah, it's not exactly a slow and subtle colour change, is it? But what the heck? They're up there. Might as well use them. So that was originally my first plan for lighting the tanks, because I was trying to do it on the cheap. So yeah, that was how they were originally lit, and then I've got the Nicrew lights, which are on automatic timers, so don't even have to think about coming over this end and turning the lights on the tanks, which is always a bonus. The less you have to remember to do, the better. Because I forget things quite regularly. Yeah. And it is literally just looking at, it's like the annoying random patches of dark hair I've still got on my face. Oh well. I'm not going to go completely clean shaven just to get rid of them, because it still show up anyway. Is if I had a shave in the morning, by this time of day I would, well, basically have the same amount of stubble as I've got now. It'd probably help if the camera was straight as well. That's more to do with the bar stool that the laptop is sitting on that isn't level, because it's probably from the 1970s and it's held together by random screws. Got quite a lean on it. I wouldn't want to sit on it drunk, let's put it that way. I wouldn't want to sit on it sober. Although before I had a step ladder, it's what I used to stand on to go and get up in the loft, which is really dodgy. Anywho, if nobody's got anything else they want to talk about, I'm about ready to go and grab myself something to eat. My drink is finished. Oh, got a little bit of, yeah, we've got a few puffs of sea left. When I say a few puffs, I mean there's a couple of puffs. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done. So I'll try and remember to plug them lights in again next week. Maybe do it a little bit less hack than stretching the cable across the floor behind me. Oh well. It's always what's just out of shot in any YouTube video that you know is carnage. The bit you can see is the bit that's been polished and prepped and made to look nice for the video. In the case of my old modelling videos, where I've been shooting from overhead, it's like, right, set the camera up, right, that's what I can see in the camera shot, just push everything back out of the way. Right, yeah, that's clear. Looks like the bench is clean and tidy. Then you join someone's live stream and they see the sheer carnage going on the bench. How do you find anything? Well, because it's where it should be, where I last put it. And in the case of the scalpel, you just put your hand down and randomly move it around until you cut yourself. That easy. Anywho's, I'm going to have to go and grab something to eat and drink and avail myself of the little boys' room again for solids. So thank you very much, everyone, for showing up, for turning up, for sticking with me for this long. Same time next week. Might put up a video later in the week. It'll probably be the last part of the Gresson haul. Might be something fishy related. I don't know. We shall see. I'd best get the Gresson haul ones up because it was August last year. But yeah, thanks very much for everyone for showing up. Have a good week. Stay safe. Enjoy yourself. Peace out. Have fun. Rock on. And bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Mondays suck do 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 do. Mondays suck do.